Metal community, how are we all doing? Good to be here. It's been a minute. Ed here, Ed's Den of Metal. It's been a minute since I've actually done a content video, and I've got the perfect one to do. Gravedigger. We're going to talk some Gravedigger tonight. And that came from a recent release from Sony Music that released 6 Gravedigger records. And I'll go over those in a little bit of detail here, just a little bit of a background. I mean, I grew up with Gravedigger in the 80s, and you know what? This one, that was the one that turned me on to it. This is my German first press. I've got a U.S. first press as well. They were different. The U.S. had a little outline of North America on here. But the track listing was different. Then came this one here, same thing. The track listing was a little different. This is my German first press. And 1986 came this guy here. A little bit different, a little more commercial, maybe a little bit, but still, it was Gravedigger. German record here. And then came this guy. In 1987. They had dropped the Grave and it was just Digger. You know what? I'm not sure what Donald Duck is doing there, or Robot Duck. It had some good songs on it. I mean, I still enjoyed it, but it definitely wasn't the Gravedigger that we had grown up with. They disappeared after that. In fact, they broke up, and then they did get back together in 1993. And I'm going to reference the laptop here so I can make sure I get all the dates right. But 1993 came this guy, the Reaper. My Japanese. 13 tracks on Gun Records in it says 1993, November 1993 that came out. 6-7 months later came this guy here, a little EP, Symphony of Death. The Japanese one had the bonus track Sin City on it from AC/DC cover. That was pretty cool. Going right in, and they were on a roll for the next many years. We went into 1995's. Yes, April 1995, we had Heart of Darkness. And then 96 was Tunes of War, and I don't have a CD of that. Tunes of War, Knights of the Cross in 98, and then 1999 came Excalibur. Whereas maybe these don't fit what they call the Middle Ages era. But there were some really good records coming out from them there for a while. So along the way came these records. They were announced. Sony Music announced these back in, you can see Sony Music, announced these early last year, like March of 2025. I pre-ordered them right then. All 6 of them. Then they got delayed. Then they got delayed. They got delayed again. I was this close to canceling that pre-order, but I had already paid for them. And I was pretty much on the last little bit. Let's see what happens. And they finally got released here. I think it was mid-April this year. And I got the box finally after 13, 14 months. So, what do we think? Are they good? Yeah, I think they're okay. They're not stellar, but they are okay. So, the first one here. This is the first one of the 6 released. You can tell, and I'm going to probably try to show this a little bit. you can definitely see the artwork. I'm going to just come in a little closer there. You guys can see it. You know, the artwork is not bad. You've got the behind the logo there. That's also present on here. So they did a good job with that. The back picture, it's a little muted, but overall, they did okay with that. One insert, one record. Now, this is one of those very, very thin jackets, very, very flimsy. These were probably done on a budget, I'm guessing. Nice black vinyl. It sounds okay. It's quiet. It is, I think that's like 53, 54 minutes on one record. So it is a bit quieter than what I would like. But you know what? You can turn that up. And one reason I say it's quiet is I've had this one for a while. This is the Back on Black. This one came out in 2013, and I've had this for a few years. I got it from a friend of mine. Gatefold. So there's the picture from the back. Same back as here. If you notice, this artwork isn't as good as the original CD. It's pretty muted. This is pretty dull. So guess what? This one, the new one right here, this is a lot better. You can see a lot more. The yellow, the Gravedigger, the gold border around the picture is in very nice and clear. And this one here, it's a little dull. Same 13 tracks, all the lyrics on the inside. No insert with this, but this one is, okay, it's on yellow vinyl. Not a big deal. Thick yellow vinyl. I'm having a hard time picking which one sounds better. Now this one's louder, but as I try to level my stereo and listen to them, they're pretty close to the same. I'd probably give the edge to Back on Black, believe it or not. The Back on Blacks definitely back in the day had some questionable methods of what their sources were. But if you see here, they've got a copyright of 2006 on this. It also has the 2026 there. You guys can read it if you want. Did they, in 2006, do some digital masters, and then they used the same digital files for both of these? I think so. It's very hard for me to tell the difference between the two. The Back on Black one, is it because it's spread over 2 records? You've got 3 tracks per side versus 6 and 7. Yeah, that probably could be it, but I feel that the Back on Black is a little more dynamic by a small margin. So I'm keeping this one. I'm not 100% sure if I'll keep this one or not. So I'm not keeping all of them, and I'll get to which ones as to why. So jumping into 1994, we go to, and I'm going to show the first one is the new Sony one. Here we go. And again, the Japanese CD, if you look at the cover, there's a substantial difference. I'll try to do this so you can get a little bit of a idea what the difference is. They did the original CD, very clear. Everything is in very, very good detail. All the clothing, especially look around the head here where you can see a lot of details that is literally just missing from this. This one's really pretty, it's pretty bad. So, backside, there you go. Does not have the bonus track on it, Sin City. One insert like the other one. And black vinyl. So, very thin jacket again. This one here, guess what? I have another version of that too. This one being the, it's also by Sony Music, but it's the Blackbeard just Jolly Roger Records Blackbeard. And this one came out in Italy in 2017, 2020. About the same with this, but it had a nice paper scratch your record insert for it. So that immediately went into a anti-static inner, sorry. So this one has the whole, there you go, and then that on the back there. The whole EP, all 6 tracks are on the same side of this one, whereas the new Sony one is not. Which one sounds better? I'm going to give the edge to the new one. And again, I think it's because it's spread out again. I went back and forth on this one a little bit, and because of that, on the new one, they put half and half on there, 3 tracks each side, which I'm not quite sure why it was done that way on the other one or not. Covers wise, which one is better? So, on the Jolly Roger Records, I was reading an article where they actually they commented on some posts. They did a high-def reenactment of the title logo. They did not do it of this here. If you look at other than it being a little darker, it's pretty much the same. But if we look at, this might be hard to tell, but the this one here is very crisp and detailed, very sharp. The new one does not have that. So if you look at it, you can see that one's a little fuzzier than the Jolly Roger. So thinking that that was something that Jolly Roger, Blackbeard did themselves. They've got that. That's a little sharper. Sound-wise, it's good. I think it's the same same files that they used, but it definitely sounds a little better on the new one where they spread the songs out over 2 sides instead of shoving the whole thing onto one side. So the next one, we jump to 1995's Heart of Darkness. And that one, I'm going to grab the CD booklet here. On here is here's the new Sony Music. Again, 2006. And sorry, this one's still in the shrink. I have not opened it. I think this one's going straight to the for sale, trade, VCLT pile. And why is that? In the last year, while I was waiting for these to come, not knowing if they actually would come, I grabbed this guy here. Again, it's Jolly Roger Records. And both are spread over 2 sides. Double. There we go. Lyrics on the inside. Look at the artwork. Again, might be a little tough to see all of it, but I'll try to do that. And then if you guys want to pause it and zoom in on it or not, you can. And then I'll put, Let's try it this way. So looking at the artwork, this one's pretty decent. This is my 2020 release from Jolly Roger Records. I keep referencing Under Jolly Roger with Running Wild all the time whenever I see that. Another thing is, I've got 11 tracks on this guy here. My Japanese CD. There was a couple bonus tracks. Dolphin's Cry is a bonus track. That's on here. Actually, let me make sure I got the bonus tracks right. Okay. Because Dolphin's Cry is not on this one here, the new one. There's 9 tracks on this guy here, the new one. The original, just plain version, whereas the Japanese had 11, and there is 11 tracks on the Jolly Roger Records version. So I didn't open this one, probably won't. Another thing is, look at the artwork. It's quite a difference. Quite a bit nicer, crisper. Look at that cave, look at the cloak, and look how dull it is on here. So, keeping, obviously, the one with the 2 bonus tracks, and this one's gonna get sold. All right, jumping to the next one. Again, I've got no CD, so I'm not 100% sure if the artwork is any better or any worse on these. But in 2022, Music on Vinyl released Tunes of War. It's the matte paper color cover. I was looking at the detail, trying to determine how good it is. But looking at the new one, again, it's still in the shrink. Trying to see if I can do this without a glare for you guys. It's hard to show on here. But what's the first thing that you noticed on here? Do you see it? They didn't put the title on here. Why would you not do that? Not 100% sure what that's all about, but the track listings are identical. It's a little darker. I can see that. You can definitely see it's darker on the hills than what it is on here. So that one's going to the for sale, trade pile, etc. I already know Music on Vinyl. They do a very, very, very nice job with their releases. It sounds good. I have not heard a bad Music on Vinyl release ever. So kind of a peachy orange vinyl. And that one's staying. So I don't know if there's an insert or anything. I might still open those, I might not, but the Music on Vinyl has the picture and all the lyrics on the inside. So far, I'm only leaning on one that I'm going to keep for sure, and that's the Reaper. The next 2, I have nothing else other than the 2 new ones. So obviously I'm keeping these. And my next search will be to get Tunes of War, Knights of the Cross, and Excalibur. I'm going to get the Japanese CDs, original from the actual first year of release, and get those and try to compare those. I need them. I gotta have them. So this guy here, this was 1998. I never got this on CD back in the day. I don't know why, but I was still buying CDs pretty heavily, and I was buying Japanese, so I don't know why I didn't get this one. But looking at the detail, it's hard to see if this is a bad cover or not because I have nothing to compare it to. You know, I look into some things like right here, and it looks a little blurry, matted out. I don't know. Is it? I got to get the CD to compare it to because there's nothing else to do it with. It is a gatefold. The picture of them looks nice. I don't know how clear it is comparative, but there is a nice insert in there. And black, these are all on black vinyl. All the new ones are. So side A and side B. So have not listened to this one yet. So put these in so they don't all get mixed up. So Excalibur from 1999. I had a German CD of this back in the day. This one also is a gatefold. Nice band picture. Chris standing tall there. All the lyrics and thank you credits. There's no insert for this one. Just 2 records. All of these came in black paper, non-polylined sleeves. So those had to go because those are terrible for the records. There's that side, and they're all the same. So definitely looking forward to listening to these last couple here. I've been spinning Symphony of Death and The Reaper a lot, trying to compare them. Again, very, very little difference between them. I have not picked up on a lot of big wow, other than the fact that the back on black version of The Reaper sounds a little better, a little fuller, but it could be because it's spread over 2 records and not crammed onto one. If you don't have anything, grab this. It's not an expensive record. You'll get it and you'll be totally happy with it. Sound quality is good. I have to turn it up a little bit more than the other one. This guy here, artwork's a little worse. This guy his rags are definitely worse on the new Sony than they were on the Jolly Roger one, but not by a long shot. It just goes to tell that the back in the day when we had, you know, the CDs, it was mastered for that, and the only way to do it was to pay a guy to totally redo it, which I know a guy that does do it. Scott Waters, he does it. You know, he obviously charges, and maybe the label doesn't want to pay that to have all these redone. Tell me what you think. Would you pay an extra $1 for the record? I mean, how many of these are they printing? Pressing. I'm sure they're pressing several hundred, probably 1,000, 2,000 of these. They'd get more money if that way if they paid a guy to do it. I mean, it's doable. This is kind of disappointing, but whatever. Most important part is we have them. They're getting reissued. They're putting them out, and we're not having to go without missing out because originals are too expensive or they just don't exist. I mean, this was in the height of the CD era. There wasn't a lot of vinyl coming out. So glad to see that at least. So what do you guys think? You guys got any of these? Did you guys pick up any of them? You Gravedigger fans? Let me know. So take a look at that guy.